I think we see fresh air out of the US after a long time, after 1960s, with Zadran Mamdani, the recently inducted mayor of New York City, speaking about anti-Semitism and the recent raid on Venezuela by the bully Trump.
Is facing fresh backlash over his stance on Israel as well as anti-Semitism, specifically what to do about it and how to define it. The controversy stems from a document the mayor signed yesterday that revoked all executive orders signed on or after September 26, 2024 by his predecessor, Eric Adams. If that date doesn't ring a bell, it was the day Mayor Adams was indicted on federal corruption charges that were ultimately dropped. In Mayor Mamdani's words, it was, quote, a date that marked a moment when many New Yorkers decided politics held nothing for them. The controversy lies in the details of two of those revoked orders, one signed by Mayor Adams on June 8th of last year, titled Defining Anti-Semitism. The now revoked order endorsed a definition adopted by the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance that reads, quote, anti-Semitism is a certain perception of Jews which may be expressed as hatred toward Jews. Rhetorical and physical manifestations of anti-Semitism are directed towards Jewish or non-Jewish individuals and or their property, towards Jewish community institutions and religious facilities. The order goes on to cite a number of examples of anti-Semitism offered by the IHRA, including calling for, aiding, or justifying the killing or harming of Jews in the name of radical ideology or an extremist view of religion, accusing the Jews as a people or Israel as a state of inventing or exaggerating the Holocaust, denying the Jewish people their right to self-determination, for example, by claiming that the existence of a state of Israel is a racist endeavor, and holding Jews collectively responsible for actions of the state of Israel. The IHRA list of examples also includes drawing comparisons of contemporary Israeli policy to that of the Nazis. Now, we should note that the Adams executive order states this order is not intended to restrict speech or conduct that is protected under the First Amendment. Anti-Semitic acts are criminal only when they are so defined by law, and this order does not establish civil or criminal liability for any acts. Also revoked by Mayor Mamdani was an executive order Adams signed last month prohibiting city agencies from participating in what's known as the Boycott, Divest, and Sanctions campaign against Israel. The timing of that Adams order was seen by some as an obvious attempt to cause a political problem for the incoming mayor. The Israeli Foreign Ministry has already weighed in, posting online, quote, on his very first day as New York City mayor, Mamdani shows his true face. He scraps the IHRA definition of anti-Semitism and lifts restrictions on boycotting Israel. This isn't leadership, they say. It's anti-Semitic gasoline on an open fire. Jonathan Greenblatt, head of the Anti-Defamation League, said in part Mamdani should have used his first day to show leadership by creating more safeguards to help protect Jewish New Yorkers, not by dismantling apolitical measures established by his predecessor and confirming our publicly expressed concerns. Mayor Mamdani has responded to the criticism this afternoon.
So I was proud yesterday to sign a number of executive orders that will give my administration a clean slate to get to work on delivering a new era for New Yorkers, one where they can envision living an affordable and dignified life. And my administration will also be marked by a city government that will be relentless in its efforts to combat hate and division. And we will showcase that by fighting hate across the city, and that includes fighting the scourge of anti-Semitism. When we speak about the IRA definition that you asked about, protecting Jewish New Yorkers is going to be a focus of my administration. And I also know that a number, as you said, of leading Jewish organizations have immense concerns around this definition. And so what we will do is actually deliver on our commitment to protect Jewish New Yorkers in a manner that is able to actually fulfill
federal and international law. This blatant pursuit of regime change doesn't just affect those abroad. It directly impacts New Yorkers, including tens of thousands of Venezuelans who call this city home. Mamdani's comments not